It's Creepy and Tina.
Hi.
Welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's just having a wonderful day and that you guys are in the best of health.
Yes, with health, as always, being most important. So, honey.
What's happening?
Today we're going to talk about things to know that we want you guys to be sure you get before you move to the DR.
Right, something that you should know so it won't hit you as a shocker, but you will be made aware of it before you get here.
Yes, by us. So, first one, those walls are solid. You're hitting on the wood.
Yeah.
Solid concrete. They are thick. You can't just hammer up decorations and pictures.
Sure can.
You need a concrete drill if you're going to do that. Even when we put up our window coverings, our curtains, we had to pay someone who had a drill and the skill to put up the rods because that's how thick the walls were. Not to mention we have ceiling to floor walls, so we had to have really heavy blackout drapes because I wanted to keep the heat out too. But anyway, so we had to have somebody do that. They're great at keeping out the sound because when we're in the master, I tell you all the time, I walk over to maybe make popcorn if we're watching a movie, and then I hear all this noise and I'm like, where's that coming from? And it's coming from our back stairwell because it leads to the garage.
Right, absolutely.
And we can hear things, and I'm like, oh wow! Like you go back in that room, I make joke all the time. I was like, I can murder you back here. No one will hear you scream. It's like so the concrete walls are great for sound, but they do block the Wi-Fi signal. So, for example, since I call it the mansion, the first part of the mansion, first half, has the Wi-Fi.
Right.
So it has our what's the machine called?
Wi-Fi extender?
No, the one in the front has the actual router. So in the back, to get any Wi-Fi in any of these bedrooms, we had to actually buy a Wi-Fi extender. So depending on how many floors you're going to have to your home, you're going to need a Wi-Fi extender probably for every single floor because, again, it's not going to travel up that concrete and these marble and granite floors.
Right.
Because honestly, I don't even pick up my neighbor's signals. So, just saying.
And by the way, before you read the next one, you can purchase those here or you can bring it with you. But at some point, you're definitely going to need an extender.
Yes. And you know what? We tried to buy an extender on Amazon. I thought I was getting a great deal. But read the packages, and even though I did, but it still didn't work. But because they'll say on there certain countries that the Wi-Fi extenders don't work in. And I thought I did great. Remember, I was like, oh, it says it works everywhere. It doesn't. Right. The DR is not listed as one of the places that Wi-Fi extender doesn't work. And then it didn't work. So I ended up keeping that one. So if anybody needs a Wi-Fi extender in the States, if I ever go home, you can have it. And then we ended up buying one here because luckily it was a subscriber. It
was actually a veteran.
Oh. Okay.
At the vet center where I normally go. And he told me where he got his from. He told me what kind to get, everything. Went to the store, got it, perfect.
Yeah, it was right there at Price Smart.
Yep.
We just hadn't gone in that little section and looked for something like that.
Right.
But it was, and we didn't pay much. It was like, what, $35?
$35.
40?
But it made a big difference. A big difference. Big difference.
Yeah. We couldn't get the TV or anything to work. Remember, we were literally watching, like, we have an old DVD player, and we were playing remember? We were playing the old movies.
Yeah, it sure was.
We were trying to finagle, like, hold the thing. I was like, I made a joke, you had to, like, hold like this just to get that one signal through that one weak part in the bathroom. But yeah, Wi-Fi extender, it saves lives.
But also on top of that, we even brought one with us, and we couldn't use it. And it had four. Oh,
no, that was a router.
That was a router? Okay.
Yeah, but they gave us a router. That's why we didn't use it.
Okay, all right.
All right, so also, when you're coming out here, make sure that you get your insurance policies in place and paid for at least a month. I wouldn't suggest a crazy amount, but at least a month before you actually arrive, feet on the ground, like we did.
Right.
Because then you know from the second you get off that plane, you are covered.
Right, absolutely. That's smart to do. Because haste makes waste.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the policies, figure out what's going to be good for you, At least you'll have it. Something happens,
Right.
you're all covered.
Right. And back in the States, we had Netflix.
Right.
And we had Hulu because we had begun just straight streaming, no cable package, because remember that we cut that back when we got rid of our satellite. What would we have?
DirecTV.
DirecTV, right. So a few months before we were going to move, we canceled the DirecTV because that was part of our downsize, eliminate bills, Exodus plan. So we had started streaming. So of course I had Hulu and I had Netflix because the kids were on our plans. Well, then I come out here and it said boop, and we have Amazon Prime. So it was like boop, and I'm like, what's this? It's telling me it's restricted. Well, certain countries are. We also travel to different countries.
Absolutely.
And we like to take our device, our iPad or our phones or whatever, to watch also when we're in the hotel and we want to watch something that we want to watch and keep up on shows. So what we had to do was get a VPN that we could use on multiple devices. First of all, you should have a VPN anyways for the security factor to give you a secure, what do they call that? Secure. I'm like losing everything today. No, a secure.
Line for your information.
Anyway, it'll come to me. But anyway, you need a VPN because it keeps security. It keeps any hackers or anything out. Your IP. That's what it is.
There you go.
It secures your IP. So that no one can get in and get any information. Because we know, especially like I used to tell you, I got anxious during Black Friday sales when they started early online because I'd be like, oh crap, what if somebody hacks? That's when a lot of people got hacked.
Right, a whole bunch of people.
So using the VPN will help secure things like that anyways, and you're going to need it out here because what it does is it shows you as an IP address at the city that you choose, which out here, the best two that work seems to be New Jersey and in San Francisco. And so then if we stream from, say, San Francisco, it shows us almost at Vegas, and we don't have any problems. We can stream all of our programs.
And the hardest place to get streamed from is Florida because they know what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Florida.
They actually told me that on we have ExpressVPN, and the lady's like, "What are you using?" And I was like, "I'm using Miami." She's like, "Mm-mm." She was like, "Girl, they blocked Miami because." She goes, they know they use it in Cuba to stream. And she was like, in places like the DR, she was like, don't use Miami. And I was like, ooh, okay.
Okay, I heard you.
Another big thing, humidity.
Oh my God, this place is so humid. It's unreal.
Yeah. We came from dryness, Vegas.
It was
totally
dry.
Dry.
This is humid like Puerto Rico and Florida.
Yeah.
Humid during the summertime. You will sweat your brains out.
So humidity is a huge problem to leather, to clothing, and to furniture.
And to shoes.
Yes, and your shoes.
And hats.
Well, that's clothing, dear. So make sure to have dehumidifiers in place. We chose to have the kind that plug in and are portable, that you don't necessarily, they're not so big that, they're in the way of things. And then we also use the pluggable, they're rechargeable because they have that silica gel in them, and then you just recharge them. It dries out the silica and you can reuse it again. So we have had to use those. So we literally have a dehumidifier, well, one that travels around, goes from one bedroom to the living room to our room. But we have in the closets, we use the ones that we with the silica gel, because it'll mess up things.
Sure will. That's a must out here. That's a must.
The next one was yours. You said you didn't see storage centers.
Right. Now, you guys got the storage places where you normally have in the States, where you can just, they sell, or they rent out U-Hauls and stuff. Well, I only seen one since I've been in this country, and that's in Santo Domingo. Other than that, your average city won't have a storage facility to you. So if you get a small place and you bring a lot of stuff and you can't fit it all in there, you're going to have to stack it up, because I tell you what.
See, I don't even see why that should be a problem, because I hate storage centers. I feel like it enables bad behavior, and it's a huge bill that no one should pay. You need to clean your life up. Get your life together, boo-boo. You need to downsize.
I did it for years.
That's why I hate it. He wasted tons of money.
I had to have somewhere to put my stuff. I went through a divorce.
Learn to throw shit.
Got my stuff, put it in the storage, and it was secure for me. So, yeah, it happens. I mean, it happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, but I feel like that's when you need to, the whole point of coming, especially out here, is to downsize, to live free and light. So I don't think you should be having to look for a storage center. If you do, you need to take another look at your life and maybe you need to downsize. But it's a big thing that bothered him that there was no storage centers. Not that we needed it, because I'll toss stuff away before I put it
we
in
definitely don't
storage.
need it. We don't need it out here, that's for sure.
We have too big of an apartment. Okay, and also surge protectors.
Wow. Yes. You want to protect your electrical equipment, TV, all that stuff you got plugged in, because we do have power outages here a lot, and you need to have that surge protector plugged in and your stuff plugged into that.
Even phone chargers, huh?
Yeah, even phone chargers, everything.
Yeah.
All your stuff. Because I'm saying, we're in an island and the power goes out, and when it goes out, we get storms every now and then. And sometimes we get freak storms that we don't even know it's coming. It's just orders, all of a sudden, bang, it will hit us.
Yeah. You kind of know, though, because then the power starts acting weird. So what happens was, to clear up, because somebody said, oh, yeah, they only let you use power so many hours a day. No, that's not what happens
That's not
here.
true.
That was what was happening when Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico, but that's not what happens here. What happens here is they'll have an overworked system or a surge, and the power will go, and we have a backup generator, which we said don't rent or buy unless you have a backup generator. So the backup generator will go on, so it's like the power goes zoom, and it just shuts out, and then all of a sudden you hear the zoom 5 seconds later because the backup generator comes on, and I feel like it's a surge of power. And then when the electric actually comes back
on,
then it comes off the backup generator, and then sometimes we get another little surge, because that's why. So we have the room that we're talking in now, actually this room kind of gets that surge so bad that it turns stuff off in this room, and then we'll be like, how did this stuff get turned off? We didn't get the power turned off, but it's just the surge that comes through the electric, because you said the electrical's shoddy.
Right, absolutely.
In this place.
Yep.
That's another video. Okay, and your credit. Your credit is going to have to be reestablished. So just know that everything that you worked towards as far as your credit and credit history and credit health will be great in the States. That is not applicable here. Here, this is another country, so it's a whole nother deal. To them, they don't know you, you don't know them. So you have to reestablish your credit. So don't get dismayed or discouraged. If, like with us, we went into Claro, we got our cell phones, no problem. Then we went to get Wi-Fi, no problem. Well, then we wanted a higher package, remember, because you wanted faster speed.
Right.
And so I was like, well, what's your fastest? And they were like, you don't have the credit for that. And we'd only been there like a couple months, a month or two.
Right.
And I was like, what are you talking about? I could pay it. I've not paid my bill. And they're like, no, you have no established credit. And here they use utilities and cellular bills as like establishing your credit, showing your credit worthiness, that and bank statements. So I was like, oh, so what do I do? And she's like, well, we'll give you as much as we can extend to you. This is the package that you can get. If you want bigger next time, you'll have to wait this many months and then come back, which is exactly what we did, because we've been out here going on 2 years.
Right,
almost.
absolutely. Yeah.
So we waited the few months, we showed our credit worthiness, and then we got the faster speed that we wanted.
Right, absolutely. So it's just something to think about when you come out here, because they don't know you, you don't know them, and you might come out here with 800 credit score. It means nothing to Dominican Republic,
right?
Because
it's in the U.S.
It's in the U.S. You're good, but you're no longer going to be living there, residing there. So just look at things to be kind of different when you come here.
And that goes for anywhere, because we were watching a YouTuber in where was she from? Oh, Lisbon. And she said the same thing. She's like, dude, you don't have credit in Portugal. They don't know you. Like, you just came here. And I was like, she's talking the truth.
Right.
So the next one you said was about leaving things unsecured.
Right. Now, if you come here and you find yourself taking a vacation, let's say on the North Coast, okay?
You could find yourself having a drink.
Yeah. Or a drink.
Or dinner.
You leave your cell phone. You leave it there in a blanket. And there's nobody there watching it. It's unsecured. Don't expect to be there when you come back, okay? Because it won't. It's bad enough leaving something in your hotel room and expect for it to be there when you come back. So you got to keep your eyes on all your personal items like crazy.
your belongings.
Yeah, secure your stuff.
Yeah, like on Soul Plane.
Yeah, like on Soul Plane.
But you also want to do that at restaurants as well. We were eating at Noah.
There you go.
With
Sure
a
did.
friend.
Yeah.
And Noah Restaurant is a very nice upscale restaurant before COVID, right across from the monument. It boasts actually the most beautiful view of the monument if you go at night and you want to watch the colored light show. So FYI, Noah Restaurant. Shout out to them. They're still open and going. But we were sitting there, and they bring here when you eat at a restaurant and women have purses or jackets or whatever, they bring this little thing that looked to me like an umbrella stand, I thought it was, or like a coat rack. It's like this little pole, and it's got the hooks coming off of it. Well, it's a purse to hang your purse, because they don't believe in hanging on your chairs or leaving it on the table, because people walk by and snatch.
Right.
And so they will actually, so we were right by, we wanted to be at the edge so we could see the monument. We were right by where the general sidewalk was.
Right.
Yeah. And the guy, remember, he came and he put the rack, and I said, oh, can you move it? And he goes, no, it needs to be on this side so they can't reach over and grab your purse, because they'll grab your purse, they'll grab your coat. He was like, you have to secure your stuff. And so that's when we first moved out here, and I was like, wow.
You know,
I love the purse rack, but I was like, whoa.
And you know what, Tina? That happens also on certain parts of town. If you're at other places in town, you leave your cell phone out there, ain't nobody gonna bother it, nobody gonna grab it or nothing. But just certain parts of town where they know that that's worse, and they know where the tourists gonna be at.
Yeah.
That's where they're coming.
Yeah, because honestly, we go to the food parks, like you guys have seen the videos. We've been to a bunch of food parks here, and we've never had an issue. Not that we've both gotten up, but like he's left his phone at the edge, and I'm sitting right there. And by no means am I like this. They could have very easily kind of grabbed a phone or grabbed, whatever, and they don't touch things out here in Santiago like that. I mean, like in the the normal areas, I've dropped something and the guy's been like, "Oh, here you go." Like they're nice, but in Santo Domingo, forget that. I be walking like this. When I'm looking at am I not lying? When I'm sitting there watching my phone for our Uber in Santo Domingo, don't I always say to you, I'm like, watch me, watch, have my back. I'm looking at my phone is out. I'm looking at it because I got to kind of hold it away from me to see, because mama's eyes ain't what they used to be. So I'm always telling them, watch out, because they snatch phones on motorcycles like crazy in Santo Domingo. You be holding your phone and they'll take it, and that little moto concho is gone.
You'll never catch them.
Never.
And even a selfie stick. I'm very careful how I film when I'm in Santo Domingo, because it will happen. They will get you.
Yeah. And then you also want to make sure that your apartment and your homes are secure.
Right.
Whether that's bars, we don't like bars, so we got a place that has no bars, but we don't need it because we have a gate, we have a guard, we have cameras, and we have security. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So it's just something to think about when you get here. Cause sometimes, people go on vacation to get a little relaxed and take it easy and don't worry about nothing. You leave this here, you leave this here, you leave your keys here, leave your phone here, or other items. And you guys always be on your P's and Q's when you go to different countries, and you just got to keep your eyes on your stuff.
Yes. And your passport. So now to the next one. Your passport is going to be your primary source of identification out here, because remember that ID cards and licenses out here mean nothing because it is not from their country, so they don't look at them. Unless they're looking to see your birth date or something like that, and half the time, literally all the time, I might as well say. They don't even look. I handed them a license one time on accident at IKEA, and she looked at me and she handed it right back to me, and she was like, pasaporte, because they want your passport, because that's what your identification is until you get like the cedula out here where you actually have a Dominican ID. So since you're always going to have that passport and need that passport more than the, vacation, because on vacation when you come, you can leave your passport locked up in your safe.
Yep.
Right. But if you're going to have it on you, make sure you're safe with your belongings also. So let's kind of go hand in hand.
Right, absolutely.
So the last thing is transferring money from the U.S. to here, because there are a million ways. You can do a bank-to-bank transfer, and you can pay the fees. You can do Western Union, but it's a hassle. Let me tell you, if you think that out in the hood of Vegas, the Western Union line was long, honey, see the Western Union line out here in DR.
Oh my God.
You have 20 Haitians, all kinds of Dominicans, and then the expats all up in that line waiting to transfer and to get money back and forth. I ain't got that kind of time or patience. So I found Xoom, which is XOOM, and it is a subsidiary of PayPal. You can go in and you can enter your bank information from the US. You can enter in your bank information from the Dominican Republic, wherever you bank here with, and you can transfer money sitting in your PJs, on your laptop, on your iPad, on your phone, in the comfort of your own home. And if it's large enough, and I think if it's over $200, it's free. Other than that, I think it's like $1.99 fee that they charge you, or $2.99 to do the transfer. That's a lot less than, like, for example, and I can only use who we used, which is Chase.
Right.
And Chase, our fee was $50 to $90, depending on the amount of the transaction. They got you for currency change fee and this and that fee. It was ridiculous. So Chase, change your shit. It's too expensive. But anyway. And also on Xoom, you can pay bills. So, like before pre-COVID, you were going to pay the water bill, to pay the electric bill, to pay the phone bills. And now on Xoom, we can do all three of those. So, in essence, I sit in the mornings and I pay my bills. Now, the only cautionary to that is they don't let you pay in advance here, which you know.
Yeah, they won't let you pay.
They won't let you pay over, which is insane to me. They won't take the money. They'll be like, no, you don't know that. And they won't let you pay over. So you have to wait till the bill is close to the due date, and then you can pay on Xoom. But there is a fee, and it's $2.99. So as long as you can handle a $2.99 fee. And you can pay from an American account or a DR account, and it will be paid to the company you're paying in pesos, and it's done quickly. Because when I pay, I get right away that I have a zero balance. Like, I literally go on there and pay the Ede Norte. I go onto the Ede Norte site literally once I log out, and it tells me I have zero balance. It pays them instantly. So you can wait, a few days before it's due, because that's the only time it shows up. And so don't panic. Like, you go on there, it keeps telling you no balance, no balance. Well, it's because it doesn't go until a few days. You can't do it way in advance. And then I pay it, and it's done. Boom.
And I like that because now, since we're in the COVID season, if you find yourself paying your Colado bill or your Cortazan bill, you got to be, 6 feet apart. You got to have your mask on. There's a long line. And when it's hot outside and when it's rain outside, you're out there in the elements waiting for your turn to get inside to pay your bill.
Right. And that's every month. So.
And that's ridiculous. I hate doing that.
Yeah. So we found an easier way. So I tell you all the time, I'm like, heck, $2.99 is an Uber ride back and forth. So what do I care? Like, that's to save you the hassle. I would much rather do it, and safety of health. Right. I would much rather pay online. So there you go. There you have it. Things that you need to know before moving out here to the DR. Things to consider, things to anticipate, however you want to put it, to help you guys out so you have a smooth transition to expat life.
And just kind of know how everything works, because things work a lot different here because you're in a different country. This is not United States territory. You're in a foreign country when you come here. And so I've even seen people in the food line every other day. And I see Haitians, I see Dominicans, because they only keep their food for a certain amount of time. And then a couple of days later, they'll just get a couple of days of groceries. And after that, they'll go right back to the store, get right back in that line, and get some beans and rice or whatever they may need. And they go from there. So things are a little different here. So if you ever find yourself in the line, and especially during the holidays, oh my goodness. So you want to take your advantage, you want to get that Xoom app, because during the holidays, it's crazy here. It's nuts. So just putting you some more information, drop some more juice on you, and you can take it and run with it. If you don't, it's going to nip you in the bud. So in the meantime, between the time, always remember, life is to be enjoyed.
Make sure to hit subscribe. Hit notifications if you'd like to know about more videos like this soon as they come out. And please make sure to hit that like button. The easiest way to patron us is always listed underneath. And hitting subscribe and hitting like really does help us out, so thank you in advance.
So, till the next video. Peace.